This ABC15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. All roads lead to Sanderson Ford.
I'm Faye Fredericks with your top stories from ABC15 Arizona. Now to the crisis in the Middle East. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says the U.S. is working with Israeli officials and international aid organizations to get aid to civilians in Gaza. At a press conference in Doha, Qatar, Blinken said the U.S. is working with Israel and the aid organizations to establish safe zones for civilians in Gaza. They're also urging Israel to take every precaution to avoid harming civilians while they ensure that Hamas can never repeat their terror attacks.
Civilians, of course, should not be the target of military operations. They are not the target of Israeli operations. They are very deliberately the target of Hamas's actions.
Blinken stressing that the U.S. is in constant communication with multilateral and international organizations, including humanitarian organizations like the International Committee of the Red Cross and United Nations agencies. Kaiser Permanente reaching a tentative deal with the union representing tens of thousands of employees nearly a week after a historic strike. Details of the deal not immediately known, but the union has been seeking better pay and improved staffing levels at Kaiser hospitals and other facilities. It was the largest healthcare strike in U.S. history. More than $500 million has been awarded by HHS to advance the development of potential COVID-19 vaccines and therapeutics. With the grant money, some future vaccines may come in the form of nasal sprays or patches on the skin instead of shots. Funding is part of Project NextGen, a $5 billion government initiative to develop new and more durable COVID-19 vaccines and treatments. NASA's first mission to a mysterious faraway world made largely of metal has launched. The Psyche mission lifting off this morning from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. ASU Earth and Space Exploration is helping lead the space launch. It'll be the first time visiting an environment with a metal surface, but we'll first have to travel 2.2 billion miles over the next 6 years to get there. In your border watch, state of Arizona set to pay more than $2 million to help pay for environmental damage caused by building a shipping container barrier on U.S. forest land to try to slow the wave of migrants illegally crossing into the U.S. Forest Service rangers say native plants were ripped out for the project, but they're hopeful they're able to fully restore the ecosystem.
They're placed right along here on the right-hand side of where we're standing, and some of this dirt was piled up, and it was just piled up into large mounds. Our hope is to create it back to its more natural state and allow, nature to regrow into this area.
As for the shipping containers themselves, some were sold to nonprofits in Arizona cities earlier this year. The rest will go up for auction next week. Bidding starts at $2,000. Developing today, ASU police are investigating after a faculty member says he was assaulted by a man who the university believes is working with the conservative youth group Turning Point USA. Video posted by the group shows David Boyles, an instructor, reaching for the camera after more than a minute of being followed and facing crude questions over his writings and involvement with a group that organizes drag story hours. Turning Point says the video ends abruptly because Boyles reached for the camera and disconnected a wire. Since locked Instagram post, Boyles says he was shoved to the ground and injured after trying to block the camera. In a statement to ABC15, ASU police say the department is investigating the incident as a potential bias or prejudicially motivated incident. Special Olympics Arizona kicking off their 2023 fall games today. More than 1,000 Arizona athletes will be competing in swimming and bocce. The swimming competition is taking place at the Skyline Aquatic Center. Bocce will be held at Skyline High School. All competitions will take place today and tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and we wish all of the athletes competing good luck.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Amber Sullins, tracking your forecast as we head into the weekend. Lots of great events happening across the valley, and the weather is overall looking pretty good, but it is going to warm up over the weekend. Saturday will max out in the mid-90s, but by Sunday, the triple digits will be back. We've got high pressure building in, and that will be bringing the heat and what could be some record-setting temperatures as we head into next week. So here's your 7-day forecast. Sunny and 95 degrees for tomorrow. Early morning lows still in the 60s over the weekend. We'll hit 69 Sunday morning, then go up to 101 in the afternoon. Monday, your forecast now up to 103 degrees, the record at 102. And Tuesday, another record at 102, but the forecast takes us down to 101. So potentially one record-setting day in there, another day that'll be close, and then we'll gradually see temperatures drop toward the middle to end of next week.
This ABC15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. All roads lead to Sanderson Ford.